All right, so different video today. I just wanted to go over some things. Been feeling kind of cruddy for about a week straight of just sitting on the couch doing nothing. Didn't help the case, but anyway, sick, tired, sick, lonely, and tired. I'm sick and tired. Sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Um, I had a pretty normal upbringing. I've got the best parents that I could possibly ask for. Um, I had a really great upbringing. Going throughout school, I kind of noticed that I felt different. Um, I never really wanted to fit in. I didn't fit in. I was always trying to do something different. I felt like than everyone else. Everyone was over, playing in this part of the playground, and I want to go play at a different part. Um, I would play played soccer, and I what I noticed is that everyone would be in a group, all grouped up around the ball, just kicking each other in the shins. And I would just separate myself from the group and wait for the ball to come flying out, and then it'd be just me. So I think that's a pretty good sign that I was trying to kind of separate myself. Um, I was I was teased a lot for being sensitive, overly sensitive. I would cry really easy, still do. Um, and I was very disruptive. I was always trying to be the class clown, uh, um, trying to draw attention to myself, and started getting in trouble. And I think that kind of I isolated myself that way even more. Uh, so I was with, yeah, diagnosed with manic B depression at 13. And so I got on to antidepressants, and I think that kind of worked a little bit. I mean, when I say worked, it just felt different. So I thought, oh, well, they must be working. Uh, and then at age 15, I think, 14, 15, diagnosed with, again, diagnosed, that's, I don't remember taking any tests per se, but uh, diagnosed with ADHD. And then they gave me Adderall, and that worked. I was doing my homework. I was obedient. I was I would conform. I would do what my teachers told me, and that worked for a while until it kind of stopped working. So upped the prescription, and uh, long story short, there I ended up being just straight up addicted to it, and then later on abused it. And then I was on and off of that up until only 2 years ago. So I'm 2 years clean from ADHD meds. I mean, I was on. I tried pretty much all the ADHD meds. And I mean, I got off the antidepressants right out of high school. I was just thinking these are not for me. So yeah, anyway, I started making pretty good money in high school. Senior year, I remember I was landscaping. Then out of high school, I was some type of a foreman for landscaping. Uh, I was making pretty good money, and I think that I had high hopes for my future. I was thinking, yeah, I could, get married, have kids, buy a house, and live the regular life. So after that, I had some not so great jobs. I stopped landscaping and got some kind of other regular jobs, Best Buy, and uh, I was living with some good friends, and then I got a really good job because of one of the friends that I was living with. Great career, honestly. It wasn't just a job. I could have stayed there and made. I mean, if I stayed there right now, I might be making 80 to 100,000. That might be pushing it, but uh, it's I just felt trapped in the job though. I felt like I was stuck. I mean, I worked inside. I was a mechanic, so I was working inside most of the day, which is not what I like to do. Is be inside. Started struggling in that job again, and I got back on Adderall, ADHD meds, and just became heavily addicted at that point. Didn't know what was going on with not being able to pay attention and just feeling like crap, feeling stuck. And I started getting really bad headaches. Um, I quit that job because I felt sick and had these headaches and stuff, and I left the job wanting to start my own business and build like my own custom built vehicles. Um, I stumbled upon another job, which was another great job. Maybe not so much of a career. Could have been a career. Great job doing what I loved, meeting people who I had idolized my whole life, like famous skateboarders, race car drivers, extreme sports athletes, and just getting to hang out with these people. And the headaches continued, and I couldn't take it anymore. I had to leave that job. Then went on to diagnosing these headaches and learned that I had a pineal gland tumor. Well, it was a cyst, and then later on found that it was a tumor. I went through, it was a nightmare trying to find any help for this. It's not that uncommon to happen, but I don't know if doctors would just write me off. They'd say there's no way that this little cyst is causing you headaches. There's no possible way. They're common and they just don't cause problems. So I got turned away by doctor after doctor, and it took me talking to I think 6 different neurosurgeons um, until finally the seventh, which luckily was uh, in my state, and only an hour away from where I live. And turns out, I guess he was one of the guys who pioneered the surgeries in a way. Totally lucked out on that. An excellent surgeon. I had had the tumor removed, and guess what? No more headaches. So I wish I remembered all the numbers to all the doctors who told me I was not having headaches. Basically, that's basically what they were telling me, or they were telling me that this was no way causing my headaches. Anyway, no more headaches, and a whole list of other things too. My eyes would go wild uh, every once in a while, and yeah, and then symptoms due to the headaches. So got that taken care of. Um, really grateful for that. That was a blessing. I'm happy that I'm at where I'm at now with that. Um, Now I'm dealing with a so but going back a little bit, my before I started getting the headaches, I started getting my stomach. My stomach was just bad, and I thought, oh, it's must be the Adderall because that stuff is no joke. So stopped taking that, and the stomach issues just continued. Uh, and they're continuing. I mean, I'm having them right now. My insides feel awful, and I haven't eaten anything yet today. I just woke up. It's like 7 a.m. Haven't eaten anything. My stomach starts hurting right after I wake up. So, and I'm going to go get my gallbladder tested today. That should be fun. Um, and I just see this going on everywhere. I feel like everyone is sick, everyone is tired, everyone is lonely. Even people that have the things and the stuff and the people, I think we're losing sense of community. Um, I am worried that our food is very bad for us, and I mean all food, any food that you buy at a grocery store, any food that you buy, even Whole Foods, isn't the best. And I think the only way out of it is to start growing our own food and knowing where our food comes from. Homesteading, huge reason why I'm trying to move off grid, and I'll do another video on that for sure. Um, or hell, I'll just include it in this video. I'm moving off grid because I don't see any way for me to be able to keep my sanity and afford a house, afford to even be in a relationship, and definitely afford not being able to afford kids. I mean, huge reason why, one of the reasons why birth rates are dropping like crazy. um, I Going back to the food stuff, I not only do I think all the food I'm buying from the grocery store is contaminated one way or another with stuff that's not natural. They have to ship these foods, and in order to keep the foods good, I mean, like vegetables, anything. Even if you buy healthy foods, I think they're contaminated with something. Uh, so so yeah, even I eat anything and it makes me sick now because of this hernia. Again, my doctor is saying there's no way this small hernia is causing you any problems. That's why I'm going and testing everything. Granted, I have found some other things going through those tests. Uh, um, Lactose intolerance, polyps. Yeah, so uh, the the loneliness stuff is what's getting to me most right now. If I felt like I was more part of a community, even, that would, I think that would really help that. And I think homesteading is a great way to have have a community of homesteads, and just kind of getting back to the basics of life. The hustle and bustle, the rat race. I'm done. I give up on that. I would rather be. I've given up so many things that I've loved, and I haven't really given them up. But I mean, I've sold my dirt bike, sold my snowmobile, sold my mountain bike. Uh, just so I could, well, survive, because it's been hard for me to have a 9 to 5 when I don't know when I'm going to be um, immobilized by my illnesses, my, just my stomach feeling just terrible. Sometimes it gets to the point where I can't stand up straight because it feels like I have shards of glass in my stomach. And biggest part with the hernia is that when I do go do when I'm active, it makes it hard to breathe. um, and causes pain. I think it causes pain in my neck even because of the vagus nerve. Moving on from that, back to the going off grid. I I want to be completely self-sustainable. I don't want to have. I want to have the least amount of authority as I can. I want to be able to make money my own way instead of doing pretty much anything someone else's way. Uh, and I don't want to have to rely on external things to make me my money. That doesn't really make sense. That was kind of I just drifted away a little there. ADHD, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, being self-sustainable, self-sufficient. Uh, I was never did well with authority. Um, I don't like vertical relationships. I don't like having a superior. Uh, Maybe that's part of why it's hard for me to keep a regular job. Is I don't like feeling like someone else has power over what I do. Uh, that's one reason, and I don't like the way things are going with politics, the government, society in general. Again, I think we're all sick, and maybe that's because we're all partly plastic now, forever chemicals. And I want to move away from that and feel connected and whole and full. So really, yeah, I hope I get all this stuff figured out, and I hope I can start making better connections with people. I miss my friends like so much. That hurts a lot. Most of them are, all of them are working. Some of them are married. some of them have kids, and that's fine. The marriage is no excuse for not seeing your friends unless they're with someone who doesn't allow them to do things, which fortunately 90% of my friends are with someone who they don't have to ask permission to go do something. They just need to let their significant other know that they're going to go, hang out with someone. And even better, some of my friends are coupled with someone who will come do those things with us, and that's my favorite. So missing my friends a whole lot, and I'm missing connection with people. I'm alone all day. Unless sometimes I'll go to the grocery store to buy a candy bar just to like sit and talk to the cashier for a little bit. Having a job helps that, but it doesn't take long for me to feel totally trapped and way more sick, uh, and feeling like someone has power over me. They decide what time I need to do what, and when I get to eat, and when I get to leave. And geez, even I've never really, except for my job, that one job I had where it was a total career being a mechanic for a luxury car dealership. Um, I felt like I might be able to afford the house I'm living in now, which is my grandma's house. She passed away in um, January 2023. So, yeah, just in this house by myself now. But I didn't feel, even with that job, I didn't know if I was going to be able to afford this house. Like, I didn't feel like I was making enough to afford a house. I wasn't. There's no way. I was going to have to get a loan, and then I'd be stuck in this loan, stuck in this job, stuck in this house. And no, man, no, no, thank you. I'm, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going off grid. Gonna start a homestead. Uh, and I'm gonna try and bring as many people with me as I can. Um, I've been relying a lot on philosophy to get me through this mental stuff lately. Um, it's been great. It's helped way more than, for me personally, it's helped me way more than antidepressants or any other kind of drug. Even all the pain I have. I have injuries all over my body from motocross, mountain biking, skateboarding, all the stuff I did. Um, Broken jaw, messed up, dislocated shoulder surgery, all that. 6 compressed discs in my spine. Um, Blew up my knee. Uh, First one was my arm. That was a cool one. It's a scar all the way from there to there. My arm was flopping around and turned backwards. The bone actually went through my hoodie. Anyway, so all the pain, even philosophy's even helped me with my pain. Um, and I am I'm only on one medication now, and I stopped for about a week recently, and I was fine. I was able to deal with my pain. I got back on it. I refilled my script because I could not sleep and I was going nuts. Uh, and that's gabapentin. I don't even know. It helps a little. It just makes it easier for me to sleep for now. I think going off of it was hard, made it hard for me to sleep. Um, I haven't drank in a while. I haven't smoked or used cannabis in like it's only been 2 days, but that's a lot for me. I rely heavily on cannabis. And maybe that's another reason I'm feeling so crappy is stopping cannabis. I'm gonna give it maybe a couple more days, see how I'm feeling without it. I'm not making any commitments to stay sober from alcohol or cannabis. I don't feel like I have a problem with them, so that's I'm gonna just kind of cruise on that one. So just the loneliness is what's getting me the most. I hope that people can find help because there is an epidemic of loneliness. And this is even people that are in relationships, even people that have jobs that are around people. They're still lonely. I think it's because we don't have any really tight knit community feeling anymore. We're around each other all day, most of us. But there's no, we're not relying on each other for things anymore for, happiness and health and help. I hope that we can all get closer together. And, well, this was outside of my comfort zone, which is good. And now I'm going to go get my gallbladder tested. I almost hope that it's ruined so that they can just take it out because that's a common one. They're not going to tell me, oh, your gallbladder is not the cause of the problems because tons of people have their gallbladders removed. But the hiatal hernia surgeries, I think they only do the surgery if like 50% of your stomach is above your diaphragm. And mine's small. So, all right. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.